Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. Got the Deltaforce 35 on the freaking block, okay? I've had this boat for about 3 years. This was actually my first YouTube build, okay? Or rebuild, I guess. I've run everything in this boat from a flat color, fit 150, you know, 4074 to the XLX2 Hydra 4092s. Okay, I've run a lot of different setups in this boat. I've run it on 6S, I've run it on 8S, I've run little props, big props. The boat handles like a freaking dream. And I have the old Blackjack 42 motor laying around. This is a 4685 big block, 1350 kV. Okay, and I kind of put two and two together, and yes sir buddy, we're going to be like a little mini series. Okay, we're going to run a ZTW 200. all right, now this is a low kV, not really my first choice for this boat, but I think it's going to be an absolute beast with that motor. Okay, we're going to be able to run big props doing ovals. We're going to be able to run big props doing straights. I think we're going to get it better. My PB with the boat 73. I think we'll beat it. Okay, so while I'm rebuilding the boat, I'm actually going to modify these trim tabs. I'm going to cut them in half basically and replace my trim tabs. All right, we're going to use one trim tab on both sides. All right, we're going to replace the stuffing tube. I got to take the stinger off, replace the stuffing tube. We're going to keep this motor mount in there. I think it's going to work with this motor. We're going to use a piece of carbon fiber to actually like chop and cut up that motor mount and make our own motor mount with a forward and rear support. Okay, so let's get to it, you guys. I'm freaking excited. It's going to be a complete rebuild, basically. So I'm going to gut everything out. Okay, we're going to pull everything out the boat. So stick around. Big B with Ironclad RC. You guys know me, boy. You guys know me. We're going to push the limits on this hull. Okay, that's a big motor. It's a big motor. And that's the beauty about upgrading the electronics and stock ready to run boats. You'll have an extra motor or ESC laying around that you can use in a future build, you know? So that's basically what we're going to do. Okay, this is going to be a 3-part little series. Okay, today's going to be basically disassemble and introduction to what I'm doing. The next one will be making the motor mount. Okay, and the following one will probably install everything because there's quite a bit to this little build. So yeah, you guys know what we're using for electronics. This is the trim tabs. These trim tabs were sent to me by Steve Lane. So they're really big, and you know, it would be nice to use it on this boat, and I probably could like trim some off of both sides and trim some off of the adjuster plate there, and we probably could make it work, but I don't think we're going to need inside and outside trim tabs on this thing. So I'm going to take these little dinky trim tabs off. I installed these a long time ago. I really didn't even need trim tabs on this boat. I could tune this boat without them. So just to give the boat a different look, we're going to install these, making 2 sets out of 1. Okay, I got a 1/4 inch stuffing tube right here that we're going to be using with the 0.187 cable. I said I wasn't going to spend no money on this build, and that's what I'm going to try to do. But I'll probably have to get some props specifically for this boat, like an X450, true X450, M448, M450 or 550 or something like that. Some big props, because it'll actually handle it. Especially with these bigger trim tabs, we'll be able to tune the boat much better, get a really good ride. I wanted to point this out. Now, I've had this flex cable on this boat right here. I've had this original flex cable, 3-year-old flex cable. I've run it in freshwater, saltwater. I've left it in the boat while it wasn't in use, you know, and I've beat on it. I've put some big props through this thing with some big 8S power, different motors, different setups, and this is an OSC cable. Look how much I've used it. See this right here? It was soldered. I've wore the solder off and crimped it with this coupler. Now this coupler is an Octura coupler. One of the best couplers I've ever found, ever used. Okay, it's a 5mm to 0.187. We're going to continue to use this. It's 3 years old. I've actually, I actually got a grub screw stuck in here and I extracted it and I messed up the threads. It actually come with like a, I guess that's a 2mm grub screw, and I tapped in a 3mm grub screw to put on my flat spot. But this has been a great coupler, you know, for this boat. All right, so we got the cable out. We're going to try to reuse that. And I guess we need to go ahead and pull the trim tabs, pull the stinger, pull the stuffing tube, pull the motor, all the electronics out, and so we can kind of see what we need to do. I'm going through changes. So I got all the electronics out the boat. I got my stinger and trim tabs out the boat. And I just kind of wanted to point this out to you guys. Actually, I got a couple things I want to point out. So with this boat, it's actually been a great test boat for me. I've learned so much with this boat. It's fiberglass. And, you know, you could fill, as you can see, you could fill fiberglass. You could put holes in it. And, you know, move stuff around and test and tinker, tune, and learn, you know, with a fiberglass boat, opposed to like a polycarbonate hull, you know, fiberglass, carbon fiber. You can do different setups and change things around with no problem. It might be a little eyesore, you know, drilling and filling holes, but they're great for learning. You know, if you're really into boats and you want to like get a grasp on how a boat runs with different setups, get a fiberglass or carbon fiber hull, because you can move things around. I was actually thinking about putting this 4685 in my Sonic Wake V2, but this boat's I don't want it to be too that's a heavy motor, and I'd have to have a big heavy ESC, and I really didn't want to weigh the boat down. This boat right here, I've actually got to order a new one. I was test fitting that motor in this boat, and it will actually work in this boat. All you really need to do is grind this area right here of the motor mount out and rebend your stuffing tube, cut your stuffing tube back, and it'll work. But I just noticed this when I was going to go fix it. I've got to get a new hull. That's why you guys hadn't seen this boat lately. That's not fixable. I mean, I guess I could fix it, but I'm going to get a new hull and hatch. That's coming here shortly. So I got another tip for you guys real quick. Okay, so this is regular Velcro. Just regular like 3M soft Velcro. It comes in like a long, or it might be Scotch. It comes in like a long heavy duty strip. You know, you hang hardware and stuff with it. But I actually found this out on mistake. I have dual lock Velcro on my ESC. Okay, I had it mounted up with dual lock. And I ran out of dual lock, and I used this like soft, thin Velcro. I tell you what, boys, if you're mounting up a GPS in your boat, use the heavy duty dual lock with this soft Velcro. This is the Velcro that usually goes with this, you know, the hook side. And, you know, it works good. But if you use this soft Velcro with the dual lock, I tell you what, boy, it will not come off. I'm telling you, once it's hooked on there, it won't come off. So that's a good mounting option for GPS, is soft with the dual lock, because it's got the big extra large hooks. What I'm about to do is pull off this stuffing tube. I don't know if I mentioned this already. If I did, I'm sorry. But I've changed this stuffing tube out. I started up real high, and I've moved it down incrementally over the years. This will probably be like the 8th time I've moved my stuffing tube. We're going to keep this position because I found the best position for this stuffing tube right here, you know. So I'm actually going to show you guys how I get it out. I really hate to pull the stuffing tube out, to be honest with you. But, you know, this motor, it's going to be sitting much higher. It's got a bigger water jacket, and I really don't think I can get it lined up with the stuffing tube. I definitely won't be able to, because as you can see, it's like epoxied into the hull. It don't have any like give or bendability. So so now you can really see what I was talking about with the motor. basically gonna like notch this mount right here and make me a custom mount to go right there, and we're gonna like notch this piece and epoxy it on. Okay, and then you see where the motor jacket is. All right, I can basically cut it right here, cut it right there, and then all the way down. It's gonna like keep it rigid, but allow my water jacket to set fully into the mount. And then back here, I'm gonna make a little carbon fiber support, you know, to support the front of the can. So I think that's gonna work out pretty good. You know, you see how it's barely sliding in there. See that? All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get this stuffing tube out. Now, what I've kind of found over the years with a fiberglass boat, anyway, trying to get a stuffing tube out, you can actually, if you had more tubes sticking out, you can heat your tube up. Just get you like a little blowtorch, heat the tube up, and it'll actually soften up your epoxy, and you can basically pull it through the hole. Okay, we're basically going to do the same thing right now, minus the heat, because I don't have enough like tube to heat up. I'm going to use this tight fitting drill bit to heat my stuffing tube up, and then we should be able to pull it out of the boat. Okay, you guys see that? See how it heated up the epoxy there, and it just come right out. Okay, pretty simple, pretty simple. Got that epoxy cleaned up. Okay, when I would replace that stuffing tube, I basically would leave my motor in, and I would drop that stuffing tube down, and then I dropped it down again. I would put some epoxy in, dropped it down again, put some more epoxy in, and it built up over time. You know, I kind of got it cleaned up here, and I don't know if you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, but you guys know what time it is, boy. Oh shit, son, the hatch fits on there. Oh, and it's balanced out. It's balanced about right there where my CG is supposed to be. You guys know what freaking time it is, boy. Alright, so we're going to have some fun with this one. Okay, I got them SRDs. We'll run those once I get the boat tuned in. You know, going to basically throw the ZTW right there, and the motor's going to be right here, just like I showed you earlier. Okay, I'm going to actually be thinking about a few things before the next video, because, you know, I really would love to reinforce this hull, because all I have are these two hardwood rails right here with fiberglass and fiberglass chop strand cloth, basically from here to here. All that's fiberglass and epoxy, basically to keel, you know. And I basically stopped like right here with it. I didn't even run it. I didn't even run that fiberglass cloth all the way up to the chine. You know what I'm saying? So if I did the carbon fiber, really, to be honest with you, I would need to pull this out, well, or cut it, get it prepped up for the new mount, and definitely would need to pull out this and then reattach it to the carbon fiber. I was also contemplating just using some chop strand fiberglass and epoxy, kind of patch up a few areas, you know, because I got this one area I need to fix. When I pulled that ESC mount off, it pulled some of the fiberglass up, so I need to definitely get some chop strand fiberglass and epoxy in here. And I was also thinking about the Dominator actually has these supports that support the hatch, the top side here, and the bottom side. It kind of like runs the length of the hole right here, and it has like a little support. I was thinking about making some either out of this or my old UL19 electronics mount, you know, make me a brace for right there. Contemplating it. It works real nice on the Dominator. You don't have any flex. Oxteen Marine actually sells that brace, but like I said, I didn't want to really invest any money. If I do make the brace, it really all we need is something like this, something thin, just a little support, you know. So I might lay up another piece of carbon fiber, like 2 millimeters. Well, actually, it's 0.5 thick, and use a piece of real thin carbon fiber under both of my top sides. So I got a few things to think about. I'm really worried about the low KV. I'm actually really worried about it. So it'll be a fun ride, a fun little experience. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Quit jacking my freaking jaws. We'll see you guys next time. This is just kind of the introduction, teardown, and the next few videos we'll start installing stuff. Probably finish it up within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Take my time on it. So we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like the videos, share the videos. It definitely helps the channel grow. Well, thanks for watching.